Hello and welcome to the next edition of the BriefingsDirect Voice of the Customer podcast series. I'm Dana Gardner, Principal Analyst at Inter Arbor Solutions, your host and moderator for this ongoing discussion on digital transformation success stories. Stay with us now to learn how agile businesses are fending off disruption in favor of innovation. Our next thought leadership interview explores how a Canadian software provider delivers a hybrid cloud platform for enterprises and service providers. We'll now learn how Ormuco has identified underserved regions and has crafted a standards-based hybrid cloud platform to allow its users to attain world-class cloud services. Here to help us explore how new breeds of hybrid cloud are coming to more providers around the world, we're welcoming Orlando Bater. He's the CEO and founder of Ormuco in Montreal. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having us on board.
Glad you're here. We're also here with Xavier Presson. He's the Vice President of Worldwide Indirect Digital Services at Hewlett-Packard Enterprise and based in Paris. Welcome, Xavier.
Good morning.
Let's start with this notion of underserved regions, Orlando. Why is it everyone thinks that public cloud is everywhere for everyone, but there's many places around the world where public cloud is still in infancy? Tell us why there's opportunity for your organization in those markets.
So there is many countries that are underserved by the hyperscaler providers. So if you look at Russia, UAE, around the world, they want to comply with regulations, security, data sovereignty, and they need to have these cloud locally to comply with this. So Ormuco target those countries that are underserved by the hyperscaler and enable service provider and enterprise to consume it locally that they couldn't do it today.
Are you then allowing them to have a private cloud as an enterprise or also have local cloud providers that can have a common platform like yours so that they get the best of both the private and the public hybrid environment?
So yeah, that is excellent questions, right? So there are many workloads that cannot leave the firewall of an enterprise. So if you look at that, now you need to deliver the economies, the ease of use, the flexibility, orchestration of a public cloud in an enterprise. So with Ormuco, we deliver this platform that provides the best of the two worlds. So you install this in your data center, and you don't need to worry whether it's on-prem or off-prem. Right, the single pane of glass, and you can move the workloads in a global network of service providers through the ecosystem of Cloud 28 Plus.
Mm-hmm. And what are the attributes of this platform that your both enterprise and service provider customers are looking for? What's important to them in this cloud platform?
So, as I said, there is some workloads that cannot leave the data center. Now, in the past, you couldn't get the public cloud inside your data center. You could have built a private cloud, but you couldn't get AWS-like solution or Azure-like solution on-premise. We have been running this for 2 years, and what we notice is the enterprise, when they have this easy of use, self-service, orchestration on-premise, now they can connect it to a public cloud based on the same platform. They don't need to worry about how to connect it, the network, how it will work. They just can decide where to place this. So to have that security, to comply with regulations, right, and the control, plus 40% savings compared with VMware and up to 50 to 60% with AWS, just give the economics for these enterprises.
I'm also interested in the openness of the platform. Do they have certain requirements as to the cloud model, OpenStack perhaps, others? What is it that enables this to be classified as a standard cloud?
So basically, as you can see, when you build a cloud platform, what we did at Ormuco is we went out there and we checked what is the best solutions and the best platform that we can work together to build this experience on-premise and off-premise. So we saw OpenStack, we saw Docker, right? And then we saw, okay, how do we take, for example, OpenStack and make it like a public cloud solution, right? So if you look at OpenStack, the way I see it is like concrete, right? You have a concrete, you want to build a house or a condo, you need the remaining of the aspect. Ormuco built that software to be able to deliver that feeling, that look and feel, self-service, all in open tools, right, with the same APIs both on private and public clouds.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like a very interesting solution. What is it about the HPE platform beneath that supports you, or how has HPE been instrumental in allowing that platform to be built?
So HPE is a great partner through Cloud 28 Plus. We're able to go to markets in places that we didn't have presence. They basically generate through marketing, through sales, right? They were able to bring deals to us and help us grow our business, right? From a technology perspective, we're using Synergy, right? So with Synergy, we can provide that composability, and we can combine storage and compute into one single platform, right? So now we go together in the go-to-market, we win deals, and we solve the enterprise challenges in security and data sovereignty.
Great. Xavier, how is Cloud 28 coming to market? For those who are not familiar with it, maybe you could tell us a bit about Cloud 28 and how an organization like Ormuco is a poster child candidate for why it works.
Yeah, so Cloud 28 Plus, it's a community of players, service providers, technology partners, ISVs, value-added resellers, universities who have decided to join forces to enable the enterprise digital transformation through cloud computing. And to do that, we pull our resources together to have a single platform when we are going to allow the enterprise to discover cloud services and to consume cloud services of the different members of Cloud 28 Plus. So we launched Cloud 28 Plus officially on the market. It was in December 15, and today we have more than 500 members inside Cloud 28 Plus across the world, because we expand worldwide in the 4 regions of the planet. So 500 members today, roughly 18,000 distributed services, but it may be consumed services or built, because we have also system integrators that are propelled through the platforms, and we cover more than 300 data centers of our partners, so to give the choice. In fact, we believe our customers need to have the choice, and they need to know what is available for them. If I take an analogy, if you have your smartphone, you can have an app store and do what you want. As a consumer, we want it is the same easiness for an enterprise globally on the planet, while we respect diversity and what is happening in every single region. So Ormuco has been one of the first technology partners, because we have technology partners. Ormuco is one of them, Docker is another one, Intel is another one also, who has been working with us to really understand what are the needs of the customer, and how we can deliver very quickly a cloud infrastructure and to a service provider and to an enterprise in record of time in a box, while at the same time they could leverage these customers or partners all the catalog of content done by propelled by Cloud 28 Plus from the ISVs, for instance. And also because we are bringing together the global ecosystem, including the resellers. If a service provider is making a project through Cloud 28 Plus with a technology partner like Ormuco, of course all the ISVs are content, they can push on the platform, but also all the resellers who are inside the ecosystem can convey on the market what the service provider has been building. So this is a bit what we are doing. I need to say that we had a lot of collaboration with Ormuco to really help them on to design their solutions, and they have been helping us to design what Cloud 28 Plus should be, because it's a continuous improvement on Cloud 28 Plus, and it's collaboration. I used to say, if you want to join Cloud 28 Plus, to take, don't come. If you want to give and take a lot after, yes, please come, because you will receive a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, great. So, Orlando, tell us a bit more about what your users are getting in terms of business benefits. You mentioned a 40% reduction in cost. That's, of course, very important. But is there more about your platform from a development perspective and an operational perspective that we can share to perhaps encourage people to pursue and explore it?
So imagine yourself with the ecosystem of Cloud 28 Plus, right? They have 500 members, right? They have multiple countries, many data centers. Now, imagine yourself, you can have the Ormuco solution on-premise in an enterprise, and then being able to burst to a global network of service providers across all those regions. Mm-hmm. You get the same performance, you get the same security, you get the same compliance, across all of that. Now, for an end customer, you don't need to think anymore where I'm going to put my application. Should this go to the public cloud? Should this go to the private? It is agnostic. You basically place it to the place you want to go at the economies you want to get, right? And it has been proven. Compared with the hyperscalers, it's actually savings there, as you say, right? So that is the key, right? You get one platform through an ecosystem of partners that can deliver to you that locally, right? That's what, with a community with Cloud 28, we can accomplish something that was not possible before.
So I was just hoping to delineate a little bit between the development and then the operations and production. So you're offering the developer an opportunity to develop there and seamlessly deploy, or are you more focused on the deployment after the applications are developed, or both?
So basically, our solution as AWS or Azure allow a developer to develop their app via APIs, automate it, right? Use a database of choice. You can use MongoDB, MySQL, Oracle, right? And the load balancer and the different features we have in the cloud, whether it's Kubernetes or Docker, build it. And then when the application is ready, you can decide in which region you want to deploy this application. So you go from development in the technology of your choice, whether it's Docker or Kubernetes, and then you can deploy it in the global network that we're building with Cloud 28 Plus. So now you can go to any region and you don't have to worry about how do I get a contract in Russia? How do I get a contract in Brazil? Who is going to provide me the service? Now you can get that service locally through a reseller, a distributor, or have an ISV deploy their software worldwide.
And so, Xavier, you're interested in getting more organizations like Ormuco to participate in Cloud 28 Plus because you're creating this network effect for a distributed cloud or hybrid cloud. What other sorts of organizations should be aware of this as, like Ormuco, a consumer of Cloud 28 network?
So, as I said, we have the technology partners like Ormuco, and we are thankful for what they have brought to the community. We have service providers, of course, software vendors, because you can publish your software in Cloud 28 Plus and provision it on-prem, off-prem. So we accelerate your go-to-market. So if you are a startup, you have not the reach, and with Cloud 28 Plus, you get an immediate reach. So for all the ISVs, I said, come on, guys, we will help you to reach on the market. System integrators more and more also, because we see on the market this is more for the large enterprise or the government, a lot of multi-cloud projects, taking care about data sovereignty, security, and you know what is happening with security today. It's a hot topic. So people are thinking back how I can have a multi-cloud strategy. And system integrators are now joining also Cloud 28 Plus because they have here a reservoir of all the capabilities to find the right solution to answer the right question. University is also the kind of member we are working with. Just to explain, we know that all the technologies are created first at the university and then are evolving. And all the startups are starting at the university. So we have some very good partnership with some universities in several regions, in Portugal, in Germany, in France, in the United States of America, when these universities are designing new projects with members of Cloud 28 Plus to answer questions of the government, for instance, or are using Cloud 28 Plus to propel the startup on the market. And so this is another thing. Something which is happening, and Orlando touched base a bit on that, it is the change in the business model of distribution. So distributors now also are joining Cloud 28 Plus. Why? Because the distributor has to make their choice for their consume motion. Because in the past, the distributor had some inventory that they was pushing to the resellers, that was pushing. Now they need to have an inventory of cloud services. So either it is what they purchase to an hyperscale and that they resell, or it may be sourcing to the different members of Cloud 28 Plus according to the country they want to deliver it. Or they can also build their own platform using, for instance, the technology of Ormuco, and then put that in a white label for the reseller to propel on the market. For instance, this is what Also is doing in Europe, typically. So all these new members, new kind of members are coming, and the last point I would say is that an enterprise who has been using Cloud 28 Plus to make their digital transformation, so to use the capability to transform a good in a new good, which is physical plus software, can become a supplier inside Cloud 28 Plus, because it is a very good circle. You can source cloud services inside the platform, do your digital transformation, and the result, your new offering, you can find a new go-to-market through Cloud 28 Plus on the ecosystem to propel your offering on the market.
Great. Orlando, do you have any examples that you could share with us? Maybe you can't name them, maybe you can, of service provider, cloud service provider, some region in the globe that has white-labeled your software and your capabilities, as Xavier alluded to. I think that's a really interesting model. So can you give us an example of how someone has taken Ormuco, get the benefits of Cloud 28 Plus, and then white-labeled their own cloud service to their end customers?
Yeah, so again, we were able to go to market to these countries with Cloud 28 Plus. It was a tremendous help. So if you look at Western Europe, Xavier was just speaking about Also. Right? They were here on the show. They were naming the top partner, distributor. So they chose our platform, and we're deploying it in Europe, right? And making available to the resellers to transform into the consumption model. If you look at the MEMA region, we have the largest managed service provider in USAT, right? So they provide public cloud with underserved markets. They provide community cloud for government, and they provide private clouds for enterprise that want that all in one single platform. So, and then we have largest telecom in Brazil, right? We have largest telecom in Eastern Europe, right? Like Russia, Ukraine, Italy. So we have a tremendous amount. We have U.S. presence. We got Managed company, Managed.com, as a provider. So things are going very well, and it was a big thanks to what Cloud 28 Plus have done for us.
And so while this consortium, if you will, is very powerful, we're also seeing new technologies that are coming on the market that should very well support this model. Such things as New Stack, which is just a vision and is in the works still, but composability and auto bursting, security driven into the firmware and the silicon. It's almost as if HPE's technology roadmap is designed for this very model, or very much in alignment. So tell us a little bit about how the technology and the model come together.
So basically, you have New Stack, right? So New Stack, you saw the announcement what they're doing, right? They're becoming the control point of multi-cloud. Now, what happened when you want to have that experience off-premise? And off-premise, I told you, right? So now New Stack can connect to Ormuco as a resource provider, as it connect to other multi-clouds, right? Now, we are now with the ecosystem of Cloud 28. We're all working together. Now we can connect those service providers to deliver that experience to the enterprises across the world.
Xavier, anything more to offer in terms of how New Stack and Cloud 28 Plus?
You know, I believe it's a real collaboration. I'm very happy with that, because it's one of the. I've been working a long time at a Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. And New Stack is a project that has been driven while thinking about the go-to-market. At the same time, you think about the technology, and it's a big reward to all the Cloud 28 Plus partners, because they are now de facto considered as a resource provider for our end-user customers, as the hyperscale may be. So, you know, at HPE we say we are partnership first with our partners, our ecosystem, our channel. I believe that what we are doing with Cloud 28 Plus, New Stack, and other projects that we are describing is just putting the reality around the words. We deliver on promise for the channel partners.
Well, very good. I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there. We've been exploring how a Canadian software provider delivers a hybrid cloud platform for enterprises and service providers, and we've also learned how Cloud 28 Plus has offered a ecosystem and network for global distribution of providers like Ormuco, and we certainly heard about the runway to the future on such multi-cloud management capabilities as NewStack. So I'd like to thank our guests. We've been here with Xavier Poussin. He's Vice President of Worldwide Indirect Digital Services at HPE, based in Paris. Thank you so much, Xavier.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And we've also been here with Orlando Bater. He's the CEO and founder at Ormuco in Montreal. Thank you.
Thank you.
And a big thank you as well to our audience for joining us for this BriefingsDirect Voice of the Customer Digital Transformation Success Story discussion. I'm Dana Gardner, Principal Analyst at Interarbor Solutions, your host for this ongoing series of HPE-sponsored interviews. Thanks again for listening. Pass this along to your IT community and do come back next time.